What's up, guys? Aiden back with another one, and today I want to talk about the greatest accomplishment you can have in your life. Now, for sure, there are lots of ways to measure success. Some people really measure their success on their financial achievements, some people on their family relationships, some people on their physical attributes, their fitness, runs, marathons, Ironmans, things like that they achieve. All of these are important aspects of your success, and they are all accomplishments. But what is the greatest accomplishment? What is the most important accomplishment in your life? And my opinion might be different than most people, but for me and the life I've lived and created over the last, 13, 14 years, for me, the greatest accomplishment has been living life on my terms. It means not having to be influenced by other people, not allowing other people to influence, from the people I love the most, people I respect the most. I don't let anybody influence how I want to live my life. For sure, I take advice, I take guidance, I hear feedback, but ultimately I have lived my life. I've created my life on my terms. I've been traveling since I'm 16, became an entrepreneur in 2010, way before it was sexy. Became a speaker, started speaking on stage all over the world. I didn't actually become a speaker. I stepped on stage for the first time in 2000 and I think was it 5 at my brother's wedding. In 2006, 2007, I was in health and fitness, but I was earning money from speaking. I was born a speaker. I just discovered it, in those years. So since then, I have been living life really on my terms. Even before that, actually, I never really wanted to do what other people told me. When I was 16, I went to Tenerife selling timeshare for 3 months. Every summer, 18, 19, 20, 21, I went to America. I played basketball. I labored, worked in construction. Then I was a lifeguard in Cape Cod. I was always doing things, that I wanted to do. And for me, that's the greatest accomplishment. Even though maybe, there was times where I didn't have the success I wanted. I didn't have the financial success. I didn't have other elements of success that I wanted. And even now I have goals and visions for what I want to achieve. Ultimately, I was living life on my terms. And to me, that always felt like the greatest accomplishment. Even in the financial struggle, the feeling that I was in charge of my life, that I wasn't being told what to do. I wasn't locked into a calendar to someone else's schedule. I wasn't asking for permission for time off or to whatever I want. If I went somewhere, I didn't have to go home. I went to Dubai, I stayed years. Now I live there half of the year. I went to Miami for 2 weeks. I stayed a year and a half. These are things I do. I went to Spain for 2 weeks last summer. I stayed for 3 months. I do what I want to do at whatever cost. I am responsible for the outcome and for the consequences, but I live on my terms. And to me, that's real freedom. Now, for sure, like I always say, it's about spiritual freedom, emotional freedom, mental freedom, physical freedom. And I'm not perfect in any way in any of those areas, okay? But I'm working, I know I'm seeking it, I'm working towards it, I'm improving all the time. And ultimately, I'm doing, what I believe is best for myself and what makes me happiest. And that's the biggest accomplishment you can have. So I felt successful for decades because since I was a teenager, I've been doing what I want to do. Now, have I made bad choices? Absolutely. Have I done things, that I could have done things better? Absolutely. To this day, I make mistakes frequently. But the fact that is I've taken responsibility, and I always say that's what entrepreneurship is taking responsibility. If I make a mistake, I own that mistake. If I make a bad decision, I have to live with the consequences. I take the value, I learn from it, and I make an adjustment. But ultimately, I'm doing what I feel is best for me and what makes me happiest, what's best for me and what's best for my family. So this is what's so important, guys. And to me, this is the greatest accomplishment, is creating a life that's on your terms. It starts really with not being influenced to the choices you make by other people. I made decisions. 2009, I went working on cruise ships. That was my decision. 2010, I went out as an entrepreneur, and I stayed as an entrepreneur, struggling myself. I did businesses. Other people told me to do other things. I kept going the way I wanted to go. And ultimately, it led me to become the person I am. And I'm proud of who I am and what I've achieved so far. And I haven't even scratched the surface yet. So a lot of people never even get started on this path because their first choice they make is influenced by other people. The early decisions are influenced by other people. They're affected by people's opinions of you. And for me, I'm telling you now, as someone who's been living life on their own terms for over half their life, yes, you make mistakes. Yes, you make costly mistakes. Yes, there's things you do that you wish you didn't do, but you learn from it. Okay, you grow from it, and every decision moves you closer to where you want to be. And most importantly, it's on your terms. That's a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They want to complain about the job they're in and the life they live, but it's safe because someone else is to blame. When you're an entrepreneur and you go your own path, you are responsible. There's nobody. Yes, you can look at the government and travel and restrictions and all this other stuff, but you are responsible for your success. Some people adjusted quickly. Their business was closed because of restrictions. For your restaurant, they offered takeaway. They offered curbside pickup. They went online. Some people adjusted, some didn't. At the end of the day, there's always a choice. There's always a change. If you believe you have to stay stuck and rigid, that's your choice. If you want to make a change, make a different choice. Everybody has the ability to make choices in every moment. You can change everything in a second. You can leave country tomorrow if you want. I just made a decision the other day to move again. I left Miami last June, spent the summer in Europe, then went back to Dubai, then went to Greece, didn't like Greece, now I'm in Spain, I'm like, I need to go to the next level, I need to be here to go to the next level, this is what I want to do. I'm always moving. I can't sit still, because I know where I want to go, and I'm responsible, there's nobody else. I can't look around, I can't blame anybody else, I can't talk about, the economy, I can't talk about what the government does, I never even consider it. There's so many things in this world people spend all day talking about, I don't even consider. I was talking to a guy I hadn't talked to in a while a few weeks ago, and he said, man, I see you on social media, you've been in like 6 countries in the last 6 months. Do you not know there's a pandemic going on? I was like, no, it's not in my world. Like, it doesn't exist in my world, I don't allow it. I cross the bridge when I come to it. If I'm faced with a restriction, I deal with it. But I keep living, I keep choosing. And to me, that's the greatest accomplishment, living life on your terms, not being affected. And again, being able to live with the results. If you make a mess of something, it's okay, own it. If you fall short, like, people are so busy with their own stuff, they don't have time to think about you. You think they're looking at you, you think they're judging you, and maybe they do for a second, but if they do, that's their issue. Okay, because no one is living so high and mighty that they can afford to judge somebody else. But anybody that does think about you or judge you for a second, it is only for a second, because they have their own shit to deal with. So my message is to stay focused on you. Don't be afraid to take the step. Don't be afraid to take the big step. Don't be afraid to take the little step either, because the little step often leads to the bigger steps. You have to start taking some steps. Most people are just sitting in the swamp, in quicksand, going down, looking left and right, looking at the treasures over there and the treasures over there, but they're not actually taking action to do it. Okay, so that's the single greatest accomplishment, living life unaffected by other people's opinions, unaffected by other people's beliefs, unaffected by what other people say is, or society says is normal or acceptable. Forget them. And I would usually love to use another word that begins with F, but I will not for the sake of this video, okay? Forget them. It's your life. You have to live with the consequences. And at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, you're going to look back and it's famous, cliche, but you look at the things you didn't do and not the things you did do. Okay, so do the damn thing, whatever it is, just do it. If you want to move. If you want to change direction, change direction. It doesn't matter if you're 2 years or 20 years doing something, change direction. Everything is possible. Okay, and then that there's a sense of accomplishment you will get. There is a sense of accomplishment you will get just by making the choice, because you'll realize your freedom, your liberty to make the choice. And now maybe your situations that you're looking at and you're saying, I don't have a choice. There's always a choice. Maybe you can't make the big one right now, but you can make the small one. Maybe you can't completely change direction, but you can slightly change direction. Okay, everything is possible. But for you to start feeling proud of yourself, you're going to have to start making choices that you will be proud of. The choices that are risky in other people's eyes, but for you, it's your truth, it's your soul. And again, I always talk about this, and there's other videos here, check them out. How to listen to your higher self. Okay, how to tap into your higher self, because you will be guided. You don't have to make the decisions yourself. There is a higher power. There is your truth, your soul there to guide you. Your path is there laid out for you already. The problem is you're stuck in the head. You need to get out of here and into here, into the heart, into the soul. That's where your truth lies. That's where the present moment is. Everything up here is past, it's legacy. You're too busy thinking about what you've done before. Forget what you've done before. Take it as a school, learn from it, and go forward. And I know it's easy to say this, and trust me, I'm someone who has, even today, earlier, I'm looking at decisions I could have made a week ago, a month ago, that would have put me maybe in a better position now. Okay, you can't dwell on them. You look, you learn, and you make an adjustment. You can't sit there You can't dwell on it. There's always going to be decisions in your relationships, in your business, in your finances, everything, in your fitness, your health, your nutrition. There's always choices you can look back on and say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, and what you have a choice now. Do you sit and just think about that, something you can't change, or do you make a better choice now in this moment? Okay, it's always about the next now. Okay, it's right now is the now, and then 10 seconds is going to be now, and then 2 hours and 10 days and 10 years, it's still going to be right now. So what are you doing right now? How are you preparing for the next now? That's today's video. Let me know if you got some value in this, because that's what's important to me, that I know that you're making it different. Let me know the action step you're going to take. Let me know the change you're going to make, because not only are you inspiring other people who'll see that comment, you're inspiring me as well. I always want to be inspired. I always want to be elevated. I always want to ascend to new levels, new heights, to be better. So let me know in the comments what you are doing, what changes you're making. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of content. And the best thing you can do is to share with somebody else. Someone you know wants to make a move, someone you know needs to make a move. Send them this video so it can improve their life. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Hope you got some value, and I cannot wait to see your change, your results. I can't wait to see how you manifest and create your new life based on these new choices, and so you can live freely without the weight, the burden of other people's opinions. Forget them. Peace.